This is a production of ITM Media. The week is finally here, ladies and gentlemen. Talladega this weekend. I know I'm speaking on behalf of my co-host of the show, Charlie Hercus, and Austin Reeves here. What are you doing? Stop that, Charlie.
It was Bruce Buffer.
I don't care who it was. I don't care. You're already going to make me blackball you before we even get to the racetrack.
Well,
you're already going to make me cut you off. You're already going to make me do anything. I had this
well, you did say it was my show. You're just a part of it.
First of all, I had this great intro planned, and all of a sudden you want to do your own thing. I'm going to just mute you for the rest of the show.
You should have let us know. You should have let us know.
This is toward you. I'm going
to prior planning prevents poor
performance.
Performance, yeah.
Okay, if I have to complete it for you, you don't. Needless to say, like I was saying, it is finally here, the week of Talladega. I know I speak on behalf of Charlie Hercus and Austin Reeves, co-host of this fine show, Ramblin About Racing, that you are now a part of, that we are looking forward to it, and Thursday can't come soon enough. Looking forward to it. We're going to have, needless to say, episode 150, next week's episode, which is a pivotal moment in any career, any podcast history, I feel. But next week is going to be so much fun, and so much fun to watch, and so much fun to deal with. It's going to be great. I can't wait. Needless, and if you are planning on joining us or going to Talladega, let us know in the comments, and we'll hook up somehow our way and have a beer with you.
You just gotta bring us a case of beer.
That's the entry fee, the case of beer. We're not there yet. Anyway. How's it going, Charlie and Austin there from the state of Sweet Home, Alabama? How's it going?
Going good. Just like both of y'all, I'm ready for Thursday. Can't get here quick enough. So looking forward to Talladega. Been talking to Junior back here. He's excited. So we've been just chit-chatting it up. So really hoping Howie could come hang out with us after his race Saturday.
But now it's hoping. You guys were confident a couple weeks ago.
Oh, yeah. No, I hadn't talked to him this week. I'll shoot him a text tomorrow. So, and make sure we're still good. So, had a little hiccup with the campground thing earlier, but I'm glad I got that straightened out.
Tell us that story, because I called you back, and we almost had a bad major.
Yeah, so I called the track earlier and was like, hey, our fire pit's allowed? And they were like, yeah, as long as you don't dig it into the ground. And, that's fine. It's an above ground fire pit. That's not going to be a problem.
Yeah.
And I said, is power available there? Even if it's not, I'm bringing a generator, not a big deal. She's like, and she kept on saying a couple of the other rules. And she caught me off guard because she said the campground that you're in is an alcohol-free campground. And she kept on, and I was like, surely she didn't just say what I thought she said. And I was like, ma'am, can we back up just a couple of rules? Let's go back to rule like number 6, because I felt like you probably should have let off with that one. Let's go back to rule what should have been number 1. All right. Did you say that the Champions Corner? Like, first off, you have champions in this. There's no part of Champions Corner that should have been alcohol free.
Right.
So she says, yes, it's alcohol free. And I said, well, ma'am, like when I called, they didn't mention nothing about this. Like I didn't do this myself. Like I spoke to somebody on the phone when I did all the reservations. And she's like, well, what type of like camping were y'all doing? And I said, ma'am, we're like tent camping. She's like, well, this like Champions Corner is like RV and campers only. I'm like, well, do you got one we can borrow? She's like, no. I said, well, I already knew the answer to that. But I said, well, we're going to need to be swapping these up. she's like, I said, what about, Geico West Campground?
You should have said Talladega Boulevard.
I don't know. So she swapped us over.
Still time.
We got two next to each other there. So we're good to go there. Because she also mentioned that in the Champions Corner, there's quiet time after midnight, meaning all generators have to be cut off. And like, there's pretty much a noise ordinance that goes into effect. And I was like, yeah, that might be a problem.
That'd be a big problem.
Like, which is too bad. One, why is there an alcohol-free zone at Talladega?
They have one.
Two, why do you have to be quiet? Like, you don't go to Talladega to not drink beer and to be quiet.
It's true.
Man, we don't start till midnight, so like this is going to be an issue for us. Like,
I can only imagine.
You need to get us. You really need to get us swapped right now.
I can only imagine, because I know you guys are going to get there before I do. I can only imagine the look on Charlie's face. I'm sure if Austin and your father-in-law, Austin, ride up with us, or ride up with Charlie, I should say, just the look on Charlie's face when we crack open the first beer and we're like, hey, Talladega, we finally made it. And it's like this geeky guy who's bullied in high school comes up with a security vest on and goes, hey, there's no alcohol here.
We got sent home because I'd have hit him.
I would have driven 8 hours across Georgia in probably what's going to be a tropical storm, if not a high category 1 hurricane coming up.
It's going to be a depression by then.
Oh, okay. It doesn't matter. A storm.
No, the way I imagine this going down is some like us getting there, me, Austin, and Eddie. We get out and we're like, man, this is going to be a great time. We go, and then next thing you know, judgmental Karen sticks her head out the RV. Because she and her little freaking Pomeranian come out, and she's like, sir, you can't do that over here. And I'm like, ma'am, if you don't get you and your little foo-foo dog, I'm gonna kick it. I'm gonna punt it like a
so on talk, man. He would never ever do that. I don't think
you see a bush light can go. Oh
no. So needless to say, crisis averted here. Yeah, I'm glad everybody's joining us. We got a lot to talk about this episode. Glad you're joining us, whether you're on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, or Twitter live, catching up with us after the live broadcast here, whether you're joining us on your regular podcast platform. Make sure to subscribe to all those. Follow us on all social media to stay in touch with us and what's going on here, because a lot happened this past weekend. But first, we're going to start off with this. As most of you, as the regular listeners of the show know, we, as in Charlie, Austin, and I, joined a racing league on iRacing called Vigilante Racing League. And we had our first broadcast last Wednesday night. If you missed it, look up AAA Broadcasting on YouTube, and you can find the race there. It's a VRL league at Michigan.
Let's just each individually describe how our nights went.
All right. Who wants to go first?
I'll go last.
Okay.
We'll let you go first because you was a dominant car or truck, to say the least.
Okay. Well, when we started the race, I warned everybody. Hey, in fact, last week's episode on our final thoughts, I was saying, hey guys, you don't know what to expect. It's going to be crazy. It's about tire management, and that's really all iRacing is. It's tire management. As long as you can manage the tires and not push it hard, you can have a legitimate shot of winning. And we all started in the back because we were late to qualifying with Discord issues. We then went up to the race got started. It was a 125 lap race, and it should have been pretty much a 200 lap race given the time that we spent on it. I feel it was a long night. It started at 8 and ended, I think, at 11. It was a crazy long night of what happened there. A lot of cautions. I think all three of us were involved in one caution here and there when it came down to it. But I feel like I had a strong truck. It wasn't a points paying race, but I feel like I had a strong truck. I just took myself out there towards the end, finished a lap down on, I believe, 16th. So, I mean, I feel like I had a good truck.
It's better than where you started. It's
better than where I started. Now, I want to hear Austin's. Austin's is better because it was an up and down night for Racin, Raw Motorsports.
Yeah, we all started in the back, and then I was following Matt, or I was a truck behind Matt, and I asked him, I said, "Are you riding or are you pushing?" He said, "I'm just riding." So we ride around for 2 more laps, and then I look, Matt's like 5 trucks in front of me, and I'm like, riding means, stay in the same position. You just gain like 5 positions. So I get caught up in the wreck. 2 people spin out in front of me. I hit the wall, had to come in and pit. Somebody else, a couple laps later, they hit the wall, come down, collect me. And then probably 20 laps later, somebody wrecks in front of me, and I'm checking up, and everybody else wrecks, and I get collected again. So finally, in the last days of 20 to go, I went from 34th and played the cautions right, and I was 14th or 15th. We had another caution. I was moved up to 10th, and with like 10 laps to go, and then we had another caution, which put me 7th, like 5 laps to go. And on the restarts, I could run the bottom and gain 2 positions and just kind of ride in line. So I was feeling pretty good about myself. I was like, I just went from the back to the front with 5 to go. Awesome. And then with 2 laps left, I was on the outside running 6th, fixing to pass 5th and 4th because they had a checkup bad. And number 68 decided that he was going to drive it in too deep with burnt tires, wore out tires, slid up, took me out, fenced me. Ended our night. I didn't have no more fast repairs. It was 8 minutes to repair. So I went from running 5th and I finished 25th. So
yeah, that was unfortunate. That was dirty what that guy did to you.
Yeah, I wish I can tell you, say online or right now what I said, but Matt wouldn't approve of that. So.
He did send a fruit basket to his family.
No, that was the other one. That was the Dave the Mouth guy that was talking all that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And yeah, so while I hit the wall and like done 4,000 loopy loops, another guy tried to miss it high, hit the wall, hit me.
Oh yeah, I saw.
A couple of days later, he hops on Discord and tags me in something like, "Hey man, are you okay? I'm sorry. I feel like I should send a fruit basket to your family." I got the apology part, but the smart butt comments after that about the fruit basket just pissed me off. So now I have 2 trucks I'm going after this week. I know we talk about here about NASCAR drivers saying they're going to retaliate and never retaliate, but I have made a couple trips to the press box after the race. So, and I don't have to spend no money or time fixing these trucks. So
that's true.
Don't make a thing to me.
That's right. That's right. Now, I'm curious to see. That was Austin's take. That was my take. Both ended up right there at the end. Just didn't really do well. But Charlie, from the word go.
Well, guys,
drum roll, please.
From the word go. All right. So, had high hopes. Keyword had. All right. I had high hopes for this exhibition race. I'm like, there's no way this could go worse than what my regular, real life racing.
There's no way the lightning strikes twice. Right?
No way it could go worse. Well,
truck has no
Matt,
chain except for the timing chain.
Like Matt said, we had some comm issues with Discord and stuff like that to begin with. Completely just ruined.
I wish we
guys, listen, I didn't even start last. I started on pit road, a freaking ass lap down.
I know we had to start in the rear, but Charlie said I'm gonna start in the rear. He started on pit road.
Yeah. I said, you know what? I'm gonna make it interesting. I'm gonna start on pit road.
Here's what happened. So if you don't grid up when it's time to grid up and the time runs out,
I'm still working on comm issues.
You start from the pit.
Which is aggravating because everything worked just fine the night before. But I get into this race, and all because of this Discord bullcrap, nothing works. And we get in this race, and I miss hitting the little grid button so I can load up and start with everybody else. So they take the green flag. They come back around to the start finish, and then Charlie Hercus gets to go.
Now, what Charlie isn't telling you is we are all 3 FaceTiming.
No, I'm getting there. You want to let me finish?
Okay, because
It gets worse. All right.
Prior to that.
It gets worse. All right. So the bottom of my screen is jacked up from trying to fix the Discord stuff, so I can't see my actual setup box where I select tires or select quick repair or anything like that. So every time, well, this is like a 4-tire race or whatever. Every time I pit, it automatically takes tires. So I burn through all 4 sets, both my quick repairs, because if you even so much as scrape a wall or touch another truck, it's going to fix it with a quick repair. I burned through that in like the first 2 stages. Two stages or whatever. Stupid. So I'm ill. All right. So on top of that, I guess it went from a 3-man team to a 2-man team just because I was running like absolute dog shit.
No.
I felt like I was being ignored. And I was like, all right, to hell with it. I was so freaking mad. I hit my phone. And because I felt like these 2 bozos were freaking ignoring me. So I knocked my phone clean across the living room, which was at the time made me feel really, really good. But then it was a bad idea because I was having a holler to actually talking to the phone. So
Time out. I got to stop you. So from my point of view, I had my phone sitting where I could see my screen and my phone. Well, I crank my truck, and this is all I see.
That's it. That's all I saw too.
And I'm like, we haven't even made it on track yet. What is going on?
He's already lost his mind.
And then sure enough, a couple laps later, my buddy Brandon was here watching. And I done my head like this, and I'm like, what is he saying? And I heard it.
It probably didn't want to know.
This must be freaking nice that you freaking to be able to talk and communicate with each other. I'm like, what?
Charlie was mad at us.
I'm like, I look, guys, that race, it borderline was, you know what? Screw it. Who else got an open spot on their team for the rest of this season? I was so freaking mad.
I will say this. When you had the Discord issue, it was like, okay, he has an issue. He doesn't have to communicate with us. We still got FaceTime. That's the way I was saying it. And then
I had Discord brought up on my phone, and I couldn't see any. That's all I could see was the 2 boxes of Discord on my phone. Like y'all had Discord on your computer. I wound up having it on my phone, so I had no FaceTime or nothing.
But here's the problem here with that one, Charlie. When you were going through your issues, the race had already started. So Austin and I are, okay, we're focused on the race. It sucks for Charlie, but this is an exhibition race. This is just to work out the kinks.
Yeah, which is where you went completely wrong too. You obviously don't know me as well as you think I did. If you just thought this was an exhibition race for me, then you were dead freaking wrong.
And for those of you
here. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say this. For those of you who are watching us right now live, whether you're watching us live, it's only 2 of you right now, but you get 3 of you now. 3 of you now get a special treat here because I happen to have a photo here of Charlie's first race. And right here, this is Charlie. And if you it's lap 6.
This was avoiding a wreck, by the way.
And look, there's Hercus right there.
This was avoiding a wreck, people. Okay, this was avoiding a wreck.
It was funny because so I have my headset like this, so I can hear Matt talking in one ear, I hear Charlie complaining in the other ear, and Matt's like, it's okay, it's just an exhibition race. I don't give a beep, 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 beep.
Yeah,
Charlie was
like I almost wanted to
was livid,
hey,
son.
Matt, just can you talk to Austin? Don't talk about Charlie or to Charlie at all. Just talk to me.
And by that time, Austin's asking me, "What are you doing that I'm not?" I said, "Just lift 75% and then go." Figure it out. You'll be fine. And then I'm kind of selfish here. It's like, well, if I give him all my secrets,
we're a team.
I know.
We are a team.
Yeah. See, now you're seeing his true colors, Austin.
Oh, okay. So, well, let us know who, if you're watching right now, you should give up secrets to teammates, or you can't teach them everything. You can't hold their hand through everything. I feel.
I hold Charlie's hand through everything.
I know.
I even strap him in sometimes. Give him a little.
Just a nut belt.
But the funniest part about the race, Charlie's done exited out. Charlie started drinking beer.
Oh gosh!
Charlie hops on Discord with his phone. He's talking to us, and Charlie's like, "All right, guys, that's what we're gonna do." Like he just went from cussing a storm up
level 10 to
a Cliff Daniels. All right, hey, we sucked the first half of the race. We're gonna get it figured out.
I went from driver to crew chief mode. Okay, that's it. That's all it was.
And then all of a sudden he starts watching Star Wars, and he's like, "Oh, Luke Skywalker's fighting AT&T," and I'm like, "He better call Verizon for backup."
He is going
AT&T, not AT&T.
But
he's going through the play-by-play of Empire. It's like, Charlie, I've seen the movie like 5 million times. I know what happens, man. You don't have to go through it with me. He's like, oh, there's Obi-Wan. He dead. I know, Charlie. Thank you. Go to the Dagobah system. Find Yoda. He'll teach you ways of the Jedi. I know, Charlie.
I'm over here cussing up a storm, and Charlie's like, "Hey, no, listen. Like you got 8 laps to go. Send it. Just send it." And then I get dumped and took out. And Charlie's like, "No, you'll be in the next race." I'm like, "No, no, you didn't see it. I got dumped. I got chastained."
And you got to understand here, we're on a team radio, so Austin is talking to Charlie, and I'm just sitting here going, whatever, nobody wants to talk to me because I guess Charlie blackballed me.
Oh, well, man, it sucks to feel like that, don't it?
You did that.
Wow.
You did.
Wow.
That was the funniest thing I heard. Must be nice to be able to talk to each other. And all of a sudden you see his phone go, where'd he go? I can see like that much of the bottom of his TV.
Me and Brandon talked about that Saturday night at Cottonwood.
That was so funny, man.
Brandon said, "Yeah, also just like, what's he saying?"
I don't know.
And me growing up with how my family is, like I know how to handle situations like that. You don't talk to him. You call him the next morning. Matt's over here just like.
Yeah, it's like just let him talk. Just let him talk. Get it out of his system.
I don't get mad. Like,
now, see, what's going to happen this weekend at Talladega? If somebody pisses off Charlie, or heaven forbid, one of us pisses off Charlie, is he just going to go moping around 3 sites?
No, that's completely different. Now, when it comes, because there's a different Charlie like during a race.
It was an exhibition race on a video game.
It makes no difference.
Oh my gosh!
Listen, I will back him up. It was an exhibition race on a video game, but my body, this is gonna sound weird, my body went through everything it does on a regular race day. I caught the butterflies, I couldn't eat. Only thing I want to do is drink. Like my body went through
I'm pretty sure
Saturday
I had a slight case of whiplash from going airborne on the grass thing there.
I'm just glad I had to take a trip to the Infield Care Center.
Austin was under concussion protocol from that head-on impact.
Yeah, we might have to call a backup driver for about 12 races.
Yeah, Preston's our team backup driver, by the way. So
that's probably just going to be for you because
it might have to be. I can't make.
I doubt very seriously he's coming to Prattville or Kinston.
No, I doubt that. Well, he could. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
I guess. Yeah, I see where you're going with that one.
Tomorrow starts the official season for the VRL iRacing League. You can catch it all on AAA Broadcasting live and support myself, Austin, and Charlie there.
100 laps at Daytona under the lights.
Rambling about racing motorsports.
Whoa, Dale, you're getting a little personal, aren't you?
I was about to say, Dale's going to take Charlie out.
Dale heard Daytona and was like, what?
Hey, that's my place.
That's my track. Yeah, well, make sure to catch us on there.
Love you too, buddy.
Eventually,
I'll take you back.
You want to go to Talladega?
Eventually, I think Charlie, Austin, and I will be Twitch streaming these races. So if Charlie has another Discord issue, you get to just see him rage.
Hey, we'll do it tomorrow.
And it's worth it, honestly, because it was taking.
I'll have all day to set it up.
Okay, let's set
it.
I'll
set the camera right here behind me so it's facing.
I want to see. No, I want to see your face when you just.
Fine, I'll set it on top of the TV, looking right at me.
That's the view I want to replay when I watch your Twitch channel and just see you just go.
And I'm gonna be in a fire suit tomorrow night, son, because I'm bringing the heat.
You're such a you get a girlfriend, Charlie.
I got one. I got a boo that lives up there with you, and also said I could have lunch with his wife today, but I had to come back and get Emma.
Stay away from Caroline.
What y'all don't know is his girlfriend's behind him. There's a hole cut out in that Budweiser suit.
Ew.
Wow.
Here we go again. All right.
That was the funniest thing. Oh, Matt Beamer with Raw Motorsports. I was like, oh man, I gotta send this to him.
Yeah. So okay, I'll play it for you right now. I'll play it for you guys right now. So last week's episode, and I know we're getting down the rabbit hole here. We got a lot to talk about here. Formula One, Singapore. We got a lot to talk about here. But the race is broadcast and it has announcers.
We're only 26 minutes in. We're good.
I mean, Dale Jr.'s download always goes like 45 minutes in until they get to the meat and potatoes of the show, and it's our show. So here we go. Here, where is it? A lot of Talladega stuff. Okay, 1 second here. This is unexpected, so I wasn't ready for this. Stop that. All right. Oh, here we go. You caught me off. Is this it? Yeah, this is it. Okay.
He does have those eyes, don't he, Austin? He's got Dale's just like staring.
Okay. So here it is. Here's the infamous Raw Motorsports call from AAA Broadcasting.
To Matt Beamer.
Matt,
he is in raw. Oh well, he's actually coming on down.
Rawr. Oh man, and they were about to interview.
Like a lot of me wants to stick with that, but when they say it like that, a lot of me is like, we gotta change it. We gotta change it.
Yeah, we got it.
Like no abbreviation. Like we just need words.
I agree. Okay. Getting into the meat and potatoes of the show here. You guys ready to talk some racing upcoming this week? And we're going to start off with Formula One here. In the Formula One season, although we have a number of races to go here, let me count you the exact number of races we have left in the 2022 Formula One World Championship season here. We have Singapore, Japan, United States Grand Prix, Mexico, Brazil, and Abu Dhabi. We have 6 more races to go coming up here. Max Verstappen this weekend
could lock up the championship.
Could secure the championship, and here's how. Max Verstappen wins with the fastest lap. So he gets maximum points. If yes, Charles Leclerc finishes lower than 8th or lower.
I sent you that.
If yes, no, I got it off of Formula One's.
I saw that.
If yes, Charles Leclerc finishes lower than 8th or lower, and Sergio Perez finishes 4th or lower, Max Verstappen wins the championship. If Charles Leclerc finishes above 8th, or Sergio Perez finishes higher than 4th, then no, Max Verstappen doesn't win this championship. However, if Max Verstappen does not win the race with the fastest lap, Charles Leclerc finishes 9th or lower, and Sergio Perez finishes 4th or lower without a fastest lap, then Max Verstappen wins the championship. Now, here's the problem with that. 6 races to go in the championship, including Singapore this weekend. Should Max Verstappen wrap up the championship with 5 races to go after Singapore in the Formula One championship, what's the point in watching the rest of the Formula One season? There is none.
It just proves that F1 has a big points structure issue.
Yeah, because it was the same way a couple years ago when Lewis Hamilton locked up the championship with 3-4 races to go, and I didn't watch any more Formula One because what's the point?
Yeah,
You're watching for second, third, fourth, and fifth.
Yeah, I completely agree. I just the same way as I feel almost like they should adapt NASCAR's first through last point structure as far as they got 24 cars starting. First place gets 24 points. Last place gets 1. You lead the fastest lap, or if you finish the race with the fastest lap, fine. You get you get however many bonus points. I think it's 1 point, whatever.
Yeah, 1 point.
And then if you lead the most laps, you get some points during the race. I don't think NASCAR does that anymore, but F1 could adopt that.
But I just don't see the point of it. I mean, if Max Verstappen locks up the championship this weekend in Singapore, I'm just going to feel like there's no point of watching Formula One, even though I really like Formula One. I do like Formula One. It's right up there with NASCAR with me. There's a lot of drama. There's a lot of action. There's always a storyline in every race, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
But with Max Verstappen winning, it'd be just the same as Lewis Hamilton. For years on this show, I've been complaining about Lewis Hamilton winning everything. The championship, the Constructors' Championship, race after race, champion after championship. And now that I don't have Lewis Hamilton doing that, now I'm just going to be complaining about Max Verstappen. And for me, it's a never-ending cycle. Last year's championship was storybook perfect. Perfect championship. Perfect ending to a season. This championship, however, if Max Verstappen does end up winning, which I hope he doesn't, but if he does end up winning this weekend's at Singapore, the championship, I should say, there should be no more point of me watching Formula One. You guys are going to have to carry that banner for me if you want.
No, we'll just let everybody know who won the race and pretty much go from there.
That's about it.
Yep.
Because there's no point of watching Formula One. In my opinion, there's no point of watching Formula Motorsports. It'd be almost like with 10 games to go in the baseball season, football season, hockey, you name a sport. You don't want to watch we'll say the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for the sake of saying Tampa Bay Buccaneers. If they secured the Super Bowl with 10 games to go in the season, what's the point of watching football? To me, that's just the way it is with Formula One, and it is what it is.
So are you saying Formula One needs a playoff system?
No, I didn't say that.
I'm just kidding.
I just said there's no point of watching it if they're going to secure the championship with 6 races to go in a season.
They need a point structure kind of redo.
Which shows a consistent season that Max Verstappen has had up to this point.
Yeah, other than the rocky start in like the first 3 or 4 races, he's been dominant. Yeah,
he's just been on a tear, just winning everything that he has been sitting into. But I just don't see the point of him of watching the race if Max Verstappen secures it. That's just me. Hope to see it. I don't know what we're going to see. I don't know what we're not going to see.
Watching you need to burn some sage in your house or something.
No wonder Tough don't like it.
I mean, hey, that's the second time within 30 minutes.
You go right over there now. If I need you, I'll call you.
You stay, boy. Stay.
But yeah, that's just me. Let us know what you think using hashtag what you think ITM. I don't know. I just think that's going to be one of those things where I don't feel like watching it. That's just me. Moving on to Texas here. Xfinity and the Cup races from the Texas Motor Speedway this past weekend. Up and down, to say the least. We're going to start off with the Xfinity race where Noah Gragson grabs his 4th consecutive Xfinity race win in a row, tying the record for the most in a row in the Xfinity series. It was an interesting race. I didn't think Noah could do it, but he ended up doing it. We didn't see any puke on his uniform.
I didn't get to watch that race.
It was an okay race.
It was okay. It wasn't nothing great about it. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't good.
Bad. It wasn't horrible. It wasn't bad. It was right there in the middle, I feel.
Yeah.
But Noah Gragson pulls it off again. Definitely one of those drivers should be a favorite in the Xfinity Series championship. And after that win, he came out and said, I don't want to race any more Cup races. I want to race strictly Xfinity from now till the end of the season until next season where I go Cup racing.
And focus on it. Focus on the rest of his Xfinity championship.
And I think that happens for one or two reasons. One, he does want to focus on the Xfinity Series championship. He has more to lose in that series right now. He could go into the Cup Series as an Xfinity Series champion, which is something you want to do. And two, with the unpredictability of the Cup cars and people taking hard hits like drivers are complaining about, the possibility of getting hurt like we saw Cody Ware did this weekend at Texas. He's got a lot more to lose in the Xfinity Series than he does the Cup Series. I think that's why we're going to see.
Yeah, still, that was definitely a hard hit. Still think that was partly his fault, as I, said to Austin, which he never responded. But, that tweet that you sent or whatever.
No.
I also said that I think he overcorrected at a wrong part of the track, and when it bit hard and sent him straight to the wall. That's exactly what it looked like to me.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
once again, it's nothing you can help. We've seen Cody Ware wreck a lot of cars this year, and this was just another one of those incidents. Unfortunately, it was a lot harder of a hit than what he normally takes. So,
than any driver takes. That was a hard hit.
Yeah, no doubt.
And I haven't heard anything whether he was knocked out. We're switching to the Cup Series here, by the way. Didn't know if he was knocked out or just lost the ability to brake the car, whatever happened in that vehicle. But he came down pit road. Thankfully, nobody was under green flag pit stops or anything like that. Or there were no crew members or officials on pit road. But, man, he almost hit the wall separating pit road.
The opening there.
In the opening there, which was more scary to me than the head-on impact. That could have been disastrous there on pit road. And I'm just glad Cody's okay. He was released from the infield care center. He was treated. His team sent out a message saying he's fine. So hopefully he'll be there at Talladega. But Texas, the Cody Ware accident was bad. But I don't know about you guys. It was almost like watching Indianapolis 2008. Of course, it wasn't as bad as Indianapolis 2008 because with that race in 2008, it was every 10 to 12 laps that we saw tire issues, whereas this one was every 35 to 37 laps that we saw tire blowouts happen. Big question is this a Goodyear issue or is this a team issue?
Well, a lot of them weren't blowouts. They were separation of the tire.
So would it be a Goodyear issue or a team issue? Because the teams could be running the air pressures a bit too low to try to make that diffuser work well. I mean, is it
we've definitely, yeah. I definitely feel Goodyear has had, I've been a big advocate of setup and stuff like that. And we keep hearing tire pressure as far as starting these tires on too low of a tire pressure. The damage is done early and you just don't see it, really the damage show its face until, 30, 35 laps into a run. At the same time, Goodyear's had plenty of time to fix this issue, so we've seen Goodyear fix issues in the past. They've had time to fix this one. I don't understand why this is continuing to be a problem.
Here's my problem. I don't know whether this is a Goodyear issue, because if Goodyear's coming out saying you need to run these at least at this PSI, I don't know about that. They should if they haven't already.
Yeah,
but
I haven't heard that either.
But it's kind of like the government. I want NASCAR to be part of the sport controlling it, but I don't want them being over controlling, because I feel like with the introduction of this car, the Gen 7 car, I feel like it's painted the team owners and the teams and the crews and everybody into this box where, like, Kevin Harvick has brought up many issues with the steering and the safety of these cars. and I'm sure they've gotten together and saying we could fix it, and here's how. But you can't change a thing on these cars. Not one thing can you change on these cars, even if it's in the interest of safety or competitiveness. You can't change a thing on these cars. And I feel like the tires fall into that category. And I don't want NASCAR coming in saying you have to run these minimum air pressures, because I feel like that takes away from the teams.
Yeah, it absolutely. There's no way they could come in there and dictate that, saying, "Hey, you have to run this or you have to run that." As far as tire pressures,
Right.
That's ridiculous. So I definitely feel like that is, they have to put that on Goodyear to make these sidewalls. And if it's a separation issue, it's not the sidewall. Well, it's partly the sidewall. Yeah, don't get me wrong. It's where the sidewall actually meets the tread.
Yeah.
The tread of the tire or whatnot. That's on Goodyear. They have to do something there if it's going to be, if the teams are going to run that lower tire pressure. So they're going to have to run a very, very, I guess, stiffer sidewall. You would. I'm not sure how that works. I'm not a tire expert. Don't claim to be. I could check your stagger, soak tires. I can do that, but
what I don't want to see is
I also thought that was funny.
What I don't want to see is Goodyear reacting to this tire issue that happened in Texas and bringing in a tire such as one that we saw maybe at Martinsville. And I know it's a totally different track where it was so durable that people just stayed out there and there was no passing, there was no racing. It was a boring race. And there's got to be a butter zone, I feel. There's got to be a Goldilocks zone, more for lack of a better word there. The Goldilocks zone is way better of an idea, where the fall off happens and the cars get slower, therefore racier, I feel, maybe in a way, kind of like what happens at Darlington. But then when you put new tires on, you grip and go for maybe 10 laps and then you start falling off. I don't know. I just feel like I don't want a too soft of a tire, because there are 2 more mile tracks coming up. You have Las Vegas coming up here soon?
I think so.
And then you have Homestead coming up here. I guarantee you, crew chiefs and drivers are dreading that track, those 2 tracks, because we're gonna see more tire issues. We're gonna see more tire issues, and why not engineer these tires? Don't run interliners. Why not put an interliner in the car? I know there's a way you can engineer an interliner into that tire. That'll make it safer and give a driver an opportunity to slow down, because I think you can feel the tire going down more easier with an interliner, without an interliner.
It would at least keep it from maybe destroying the car when it comes apart.
Right. Not that we've seen these tires tear up cars like in the past, but man, I just feel like it was disappointing to see what happened there at Texas with the tire issues going on the whole race. It was kind of just, people were tweeting, who do you think is going to win? It's like the one whose tires don't blow out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's got to suck leading the race and then having a tire blow out and smack the wall and then you're not.
But see, did you guys notice as well? Only one tire incident happened in turn 1, and that was Cole Custer. The rest of them happened in 3 and 4. Odds are the leader of the race, Kyle Busch, Martin Truex Jr. These drivers who know how to race.
I think Kevin Hart was leading too. Yeah.
Kevin Harvick. Not rookies, not guys that are in their 2nd, 3rd year in Cup, veterans of the sport with 15 plus years in the sport. Reckon.
And they were also complaining about the bump in 3 and 4. I don't know if you heard that. There's something about a bump in the middle of the corner, coming out of the corner. They were complaining about it too.
If SMI and NASCAR were smart, they would tear down Texas or reconfigure it in a way kind of, I'm not saying like Atlanta, but take it back the way it was before. There was nothing wrong with the way old Texas was. The second they introduced that new track style with 2 completely different corners is the day Texas died, and nobody liked it. Even racing the Indy cars there, which should be a lot of fun, is not as exciting as I feel like it could be.
Yeah, I hope they don't reconfigure it like Atlanta, because you already got 2 super speedways.
I'm not.
Talladega, Daytona. We don't need a third or a fourth one.
No, and I'm not saying do that. I don't want them to reconfigure it like Atlanta. In fact, I didn't want them to reconfigure Atlanta like they reconfigured Atlanta. But it's kind of time, I think, and this is their wake-up call. They have a year until they race there again in NASCAR. They're off of the All-Star race. So that went to North Wilkesboro. There's no way they're going to have that debacle happen again there.
Well,
so I think this is their chance, Texas's Motor Speedway's chance to fix that track.
I think with the uprise in North Wilkesboro, and with me believing that that's going to bleed over into Rockingham,
I hope so. Yes,
and some other tracks like that. A lot of these tracks on the current schedule are going to have to do something. They're going to have to make upgrades. They're going to have to do something to keep the racing competitive and keep the excitement there, or they're going to be cut off the schedule whenever some of these other tracks start coming back. That's just how it's going to have to be. So yeah, Texas is in a position where they're going to have to make changes.
And if they're going to start, they better start now. That's all I'm going to say, because they have a year, just about a little less than 365 days until NASCAR shows up there again for a race weekend. I hope they can fix it, because I do like Texas. And I only hope that they can fix it. But Tyler Reddick winning, third race in a row, or third race this season.
First on the oval.
First on the oval, and the fourth non-playoff driver in the playoffs to win. This is getting crazy. I only hope at Talladega two things. One, a driver wins that I've never seen win before. And two, it's a non-playoff driver. That's what I hope. And I hope someone's out there, because I know I'm not out there doing it. I hope someone out there is keeping up with the points as if it were a traditional points playing system, because
somebody is. You'll be able to Google. As a matter of fact, I'll Google it right now.
All right, Google it right now. But yeah, Tyler Reddick winning, surviving going with two tires there at the final stop. I thought that was pretty gutsy, but it won him the race. But now we got to get to the big topic here, one that we talked about all in our group chat here, and that is, I feel, Denny Hamlin and William Byron. I know Charlie's opinion on it. I'm curious of what Austin has to say about it, because I didn't hear you say much about it. And here's what happened if you don't know. Coming off of turn 2, it looked like Denny Hamlin got a little loose, pushed a little up the track, didn't hit William Byron, but caused William to adjust, and William scraped the wall a little, didn't hurt him. Then the caution came out, and William Byron just straight up dumped Denny Hamlin under caution. Going around into turn 4 after the caution, the pace car has to fill. Denny Hamlin shows his displeasure, gives him a little bump, didn't do anything to hurt him. Hamlin gets sent back to the rear, and NASCAR claimed that they didn't see it, so therefore they didn't do anything about it. Thoughts on that, Austin?
Before I forget, the part that they said they couldn't see it, it's 2022. We have cameras at the yin yang on these cars.
I didn't know.
Go ahead.
Yeah, and I was going to say, and you brought up a good point there, I didn't know until this race that every car had a camera. You sent us a video of Cody Ware's impact, and it was like, well, I didn't even know he had a camera in the car.
Every car's got at least 2 cameras on it. You know, one looking at the driver or a helmet cam. Not everybody runs a helmet cam, but they all have in-car video. So for them to say, you know, I forget what the video said about who we're talking, but when the caution comes out, they're focusing on this point of the track to get the safety vehicles there, which I get that. But there's no telling how many cameras are at this track, so you can't tell me that you couldn't get one camera to watch the 24 and the 11. But
especially the 24 car, and about 15 minutes after that happened, when NASCAR claimed at the end of the race we didn't see it when it happened, well, their social media team saw it because they tweeted it out.
Yeah, that's what I have a hard time understanding. If somebody I didn't get it. But the way I looked at it is I don't know if Hamlin drove in too deep or if somebody was up under him or
There was
whatever,
nobody up under him.
He he ran Ross at a track. Was it Pocono when he put him in the wall? Or he didn't put him in the wall, but ran my room.
Well, but he didn't touch him there either.
I don't feel like he meant to do it. But
there's a difference in not touching him and running him out of room, though,
and pushing him out of real estate.
But also,
I think
he had trouble off of turn 2. I don't think Hamlin intentionally meant to do anything. He was clearly off the gas. He was trying to collect his car, and I think it was just a racing incident. What William Byron did, he deserves the penalty he got. He got fined and 25 points deducted, which dropped him from 3rd to 9th in the standings. He's below the cut line now because of that boneheaded move he made.
He would have been okay, but right before he hits Hamlin, he throttles up. If he'd have just eased up and bumped him, then he could have played it off. Well, I didn't know the caution was out. He could have played dumb. But that last little is what got him.
But the caution lights were clearly on. How do you not know you're not under caution?
You can play dumb. Well, I was focusing on this, right?
Okay, we could go right back to how does Carruth not know? How does Carruth or whatever not avoid that truck in the next corner? We could play the how do I game all day long.
So whose side are you on here? I mean,
I'm on Byron's side all day on this.
Okay, so had William Byron, not even William Byron, had Chase Elliott been
just because how
the roles would have been reversed, you would have been saying the heck with the guy who spun out Chase Elliott under caution.
Absolutely not. Because if Chase no, absolutely not. Because if Elliott was Denny Hamlin in this situation and would have did the same thing, absolutely justifiable all day long.
That is not justifiable, Charlie. The punishment doesn't mean it's a crime. Hamlin didn't do anything wrong.
I mean, yes, he did. He did lift and get out of gas, but he lifted late.
He could have lifted.
Were you in the car? I don't have the telemetry on there.
Then how can you say he was loose or anything?
I saw the car.
He was not loose. He was not loose.
Okay, well, then he pushed up the track. It doesn't matter. He didn't mean to do that to Byron. If Byron was a bit more mature and not a little crybaby.
Well, it's amazing how Denny Hamlin has all these enemies, but yet he's never at fault for anything.
I haven't seen him do one thing wrong this season.
Wow, you are blind as a damn bat then.
No. I'm calling balls and strikes, man. And I don't see Hamlin doing anything wrong this season.
You're the worst umpire ever.
No.
Y'all say a quick prayer for me because I got to sleep with these two at Talladega.
No, first of all, we're going to be in separate tents at Talladega. There's no sleeping with anybody at Talladega.
We're talking.
All I know is I'm Big Spoon.
We're talking about a zipper holding us back.
I'm Big Spoon, so the joke's on y'all.
So the fact that it was Denny Hamlin, you're going to automatically say, "Oh yeah, he had that coming." That's what I hear. And you know what? Just for that,
I did not say just because it's Denny Hamlin. He had it coming. I said because of what he did, he had that coming.
Wrong. He didn't. Denny Hamlin.
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't. Not to justify getting spun under caution.
I don't think William meant to spin it.
He did too.
I think he meant to. I think he meant to bump him in the back to show his displeasure. But the throttle up that he gave the car gave it too much oomph, and when he hit him, it just sent him for a ride. Was that justifiable? No. I mean, like I said, you could have rolled up beside him, clutched it, put it neutral, and got on the gas 2 or 3 times, and you could have shown your displeasure. You don't have to hit him.
So are we going to say what Denny Hamlin did earlier in the year as far as slowing up everybody on the back straightaway was justifiable?
When was that?
When him and Ross got into it first time.
Trying to keep him from making lap speed on the DVP.
And
so that was justifiable.
I'm going to just buy Denny Hamlin gear at Talladega just to piss you off.
I don't care. Buy whatever you want to. It's your money that you're wasting, not mine.
Future champ right there.
Okay.
No, he'll choke. He'll choke bigger than Charlie and I race trying to get on the grid.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely.
I mean, okay. Well, I think this brings up this question here that I have here, and I saw this on Twitter, so I'm stealing this, and I think it was from Kevin Harvick. Does NASCAR, you know how in Formula One, if something happens on track, it says this car and this car it's under investigation for doing this or whatever it is. So let's say, for instance, that did happen. 24 and 11 under investigation for spinning each other out on under caution or contact under caution. Should NASCAR implement something like that so it isn't right there a ball and strike thing, but we can look at it kind of objectively? Because if it was a panel of 3, like right here, there's clearly 2 who disagree. Myself and Charlie clearly disagree who's at fault here. But Austin could be that guy going, I agree with this guy's at fault. And then a penalty is handed down right there, whether it's a time penalty, a caution penalty, or drive-through penalty, whatever it may be. Should there be something implemented in NASCAR where they say, hey, we saw an incident. We're not going to say anything right now. We're going to investigate it and then come up with our decision, whether it's a drive-through penalty, stop and go, whatever the case may be. Should there be something like that implemented in NASCAR?
What?
Yes,
Like,
yes, yes, and no.
You know, not at that very moment, but like say if you and Austin got into, like if you spun out Austin under caution and we missed it, but the crew chief and the teams and we saw the replay and we were like, whoa, we're going to go ahead and investigate that. NASCAR, we're going to investigate that.
Because I've spun people out under caution.
But then you know what I mean. And then we say
it was justifiable.
The driver of the 83 has a pass-through penalty.
I just parked it.
Okay, but you know what I mean. They don't have to make up the decision there, but they could take 3 or 4 laps or however long they want to say this is the decision they make instead of 2 to 3 days after the race is over saying, okay, I mean, Byron was handed a penalty, but I feel like it would have been more impactful there at the track by 25 points. He probably would have lost the same amount of points had he gone through. You know what I mean? Just something right there that happens at the race that doesn't carry over to the week.
Yeah, I feel like if it's going to happen, it should be implemented in the race, not after. In those situations.
Yeah, because like I said, we have all these cameras and technology.
There's no way they couldn't have reviewed it like that.
Like we kill how many laps we killed during a caution? Like 3 to 4 anyways, or 5 maybe.
Yeah, there were like 20 cautions, like 19 cautions this past race. It was like an iRacing event there at Texas.
Yeah, I mean, even after that one, there was still 2, 3 cautions after that one. So there's no way they couldn't have did something.
And I feel like it just could have been handled right there. It could have been addressed instead of just saying we didn't see it. I feel like an organization to the stature that NASCAR tries to hold themselves up to, for them to say we didn't see this incident happen or we weren't aware of this incident until after the race is complete BS. You can't sit there and tell the whole industry and the whole league of fans and the drivers and the owners, because I feel like you've opened Pandora's box if you don't drop the hammer right there. If you don't squash that bug right there, who's to say next weekend, let's say the 34 and or McDowell and Logano gone into it. Logano wrecks McDowell under caution. Well, how can they penalize Logano and not penalize Byron at the moment? I just feel like it's a snowball effect. Oh, if they didn't drop the hammer, there's going to be no repercussions. I feel like that's setting a dangerous precedence for NASCAR. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I just don't see how you missed it, because I don't know the exact number of officials or NASCAR employees that work there, but there's got to be somebody with a computer screen in front of them that can click 2 buttons and pull up the 24 cars in camera or 11 cars in camera. And while they're riding around, figuring stuff out, they can't say, okay, this one goes here, this one does a pass through, this one does that, and have it settled within 4 laps versus kill 2 days.
Right.
I mean, let's go back and look at Watkins Glen with the 5 car. Whenever the throttle got stuck or there was no brakes or whatever.
Oh, you mean
they
Indy?
Could sit.
Yeah,
Indy. And they can sit here and view telemetry and stuff like that. they did that before the end of the race. So there's no way they can't go back and just view all that. Well, he throttled up, or, Denny Hamlin didn't let off the throttle. He stayed in it, ran him into the wall, whatever. So there's no way he can just – they can look at this, and with the technology that's there nowadays, they can look at it from every angle and every aspect possible to make a call like that, just like the FIA or whatever can nowadays. So it either needs to be a one-man panel or a three-man panel, and they need to make a decision like that.
Yep, they do. And because I feel like this sets a bad precedence for NASCAR right now, because now they know we can wreck someone on pit road, or not pit road, but under caution on the racetrack.
Yeah, I feel like we'll go into the pit road in a minute, but that should have been like twice as bad penalty.
Yeah.
But for NASCAR to say, well, I don't know, I didn't see it. Like, you're big here.
Like, I'm pretty sure like the rest of the world has seen it 1,000 times already.
Yeah.
Before you ever made that statement.
30 people's done tweeted about it. Facebook's blowing up, and you're telling me that you didn't see it.
I think I retweeted it like 24 hours before they said we didn't see it. If the whole world saw it, you can't just say we didn't see it. Just come out and say we messed up.
Yeah, like I get it if it's your local short track with 4 cameras on each corner and that's it. But NASCAR's got cameras everywhere. And a lot of employees.
They do.
So there's no reason you should have missed it. You should have been, okay, hey, we had the 11 spinning through the infield under caution. Team A, B, and C figure out what happened.
And it's as simple as going, well, if he spun here, let's rewind. Oh, the 24 just straight up hit him under caution.
Exactly.
What was that for?
I mean, don't come over and say, well, I don't know what happened. We missed it.
Oh, we missed it. We were more worried about the tires than anything. Give me a break. So I think NASCAR messed up there, and I think they messed up here as well. And Charlie brought it up here. Ty Dillon, pit road. Ty Gibbs showing his frustration towards Ty Dillon. They're hitting him on pit road. That is Ty Gibbs hitting.
Yeah. So I don't agree with that at all. Getting back outside of pit road, but they were dangerously close to another car's pit crew changing right side tires.
Mm-hmm.
Could have easily injured somebody. And I'm going to go back to, I think I sent it to y'all earlier, to what was it? What Larry McReynolds said.
Yeah, Larry McReynolds hit the spot. I hit the nail on the head right here.
Yeah, stop saying, pretty much stop saying, well, they're only 19. Well, if they're just 19, then send them back to late models or send them back to whatever series. They're in the Cup Series. It's time they start acting like they're in the Cup Series. And I've been against Larry still being a commentator for a little while now. I just think it's time for let's bring in some fresh blood for the most part. But boy, he hit the nail right on the head with that statement, because I said that last week about them saying, well, he's only 19, yada yada. Stop saying he's 19. If y'all were confident enough for him to run an Xfinity car, talking about Sam Mayer, then don't be mad when he goes out there and starts junking up a bunch of equipment. Well, he's only 19. Well, obviously y'all felt good enough about him getting out there. Don't be mad when he starts, wrapping a couple chassis around some other cars. And then you got Ty Dillon. Well, y'all obviously felt good enough about him going up there and running the Cup Series. And then he goes off and does some stupid stuff like that. But just like Larry McReynolds said, enough's enough. Either send him back down or set him straight. And what gets me about Ty Dillon is after everything he does, every time he does something wrong, it's followed by an apology.
You mean Ty Gibbs?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Ty Gibbs, I'm sorry. Yeah, every time he does something wrong, it's followed by an apology.
And I have the apology right here in which Ty Gibbs
says, he goes and does something else stupid. like the next week or a couple of weeks later.
Ty Gibbs said this, quote, I want to apologize for what happened Sunday on pit road.
After he got fined.
I have to have a better understanding of the situation in my surroundings. I'm thankful no one was injured, and I will learn from it.
Yeah, he only made that apology because he got fined.
Yeah. What other surroundings do you need to know? You're on pit road.
Yep.
You got hit because another car was leaving his pit box. It happens all the time.
All the time.
You retaliated. What was it say if you hit that car? He lost control and then hit the right rear changer on the car because it was dangerous close.
Broke the leg,
like
whatever.
What if he's
ruined that guy's career?
Life, yeah.
Like how are you gonna learn from this when you just messed up this guy's rest of his life? Like, what learning is there from that?
Yeah, I'm sorry, but a little $50,000 fine. No offense, but little grandpappy's going to write his little golden grandson a check.
He's gonna cover that. Check.
Yeah, so
he's gonna Venmo to the NASCAR.
No, absolutely not. Like, he needs to be parked. I'm sorry. The only way you're going to start getting your money is not an issue. Like, stop fining these people. Stop finding people money. Money's not an issue to these bigger teams. Yeah, finding these lower budget teams, yeah, that's going to hit them where it really matters because money is everything to these lower budget teams. Like people like Brendan Gaughan or even Cody Ware and all them. But your big teams like Hendrick and Gibbs and RCR, stop finding them. $25,000, whatever, man. Come on, give me a break. Stop finding them. You start parking these little punks for a race and them losing a whole point, all the points they could have gained for one race, guarantee you start getting the point across.
Well, then in that case, then should William Byron be parked for a race?
Sure.
Okay.
But Denny Hamlin should too from the crap he pulled earlier this year.
Well, that's not not talking about that. We're talking about what.
Oh, you only want to talk about stuff from this past weekend. You don't want to talk about stuff that's happened earlier.
Can't do anything about that. We can only do stuff about now.
But this past weekend's in the past.
I was going to say Sunday's race is in the past now.
Yeah, everything's in the past.
Well, then if we're going to set that precedent to park people, like, okay, look what happened with Kenseth and Logano in Martinsville. Kenseth got parked that next race.
Boy, was it good watching him go through 1 and 2.
Yeah,
absolutely demolished the 22.
Boy, you saw that one coming
you did.
A freaking 3 laps away. You saw that one build up.
Yeah, you did.
But I mean, you can't get mad for a car hitting you, leaving his pit stop. It happens all the time. It happens on iRacing when we run a race. Why are they on pit road with other people doing their job when you can put their lives in danger?
And I get it if it's a one-time thing, but when it starts being repetitive, maybe that's where they need to be. You know what? Like, hey, you're done. You're gonna sit a race, and you're gonna gather your thoughts. Like, hey, one-time thing, whatever, fine, done.
Or drop the hammer right away the first time it happens, and that shows not only the driver affected, but everybody else. Hey, we're not playing games anymore.
Like the loose wheel penalty.
Yeah, like the loose wheel.
They didn't come to play. You lose a wheel, boom.
Well, they reneged on that real quick too. So
no, they did it only on pit road. They reread it kind of on pit road. If you catch it on pit road, you can redeem yourself. But if it happened, we haven't hardly. I mean, since I think Coda, I don't recall seeing a loose wheel on the racetrack.
So on the racetrack on pit road
or Sonoma. Was it? No, it's Sonoma and Kyle Larson, I believe. So, I mean, NASCAR wasn't playing around with that. I don't think NASCAR should play around with incidents on pit road, incidents on the racetrack, using cars as a weapon. Absolutely zero tolerance there.
Yeah, plus they did it sissy. Like, if you're going to do it, go carburetor deep.
Like, his night.
Yeah, well, then.
Park that hood up underneath his seat.
Needless to say, watch the Daytona race tomorrow night in the 6 truck.
And a shot has been called here.
I will clear the path for y'all to go to the front.
Look, you think I'm playing? I don't. The 68 and 29's got. I'll do on short track.
Hey, remember me?
Once I figured out that I didn't have to dump no more money into fixing my truck and I didn't have to spend 2 or 3 days rebuilding the shop, it's fair game.
All right. Well, anything else regarding the races from this past weekend? A lot have happened. I mean, even
I hope they interview me tomorrow.
Even Chase Elliott had issues. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anything else in regards to Texas here?
No, I'm good.
Moving on. Finally, this weekend, gentlemen, like I said at the top of the show, Talladega Super Speedway this week, and we're going to start off in the Truck Series Saturday, October 1st, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on FS1. The Xfinity Series race is going to be Saturday, October 1st, right after that race at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on USA. And the Cup Series race Saturday, October 2nd at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on NBC. And we also have the Singapore race coming up, the Singapore Grand Prix coming here for Formula One Sunday, October 2nd at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on ESPN. Gentlemen, winners, race picks, I should say, for the Xfinity Truck Cup and Formula One race. We're going to start off with Austin.
Formula One, Verstappen.
Oh, didn't see that one coming.
Oh, I didn't see that one coming here. I bet I can almost guess his Xfinity series.
Or you want to pick somebody else? Huh?
No, go ahead.
Because truck race.
Okay, truck race.
I don't know. I mean, you can pick anybody from 1st to 30th.
It's true.
Matt DeBenedetto. We'll give him a shot. Xfinity. Howie DeSavino gets it done.
There we go. Okay, Howie does.
Howie gets it done, and if he wins, and he doesn't
invite us to pit or victory lane, I'm going to be upset.
He's not making it out of Talladega without a couple of bruises, or his truck and hauler ain't gonna make it out with some flat tires.
Look at that. A fender we ain't got to fix. I'm going to kick it in.
Oh, and the good news about Howie, I thought about this today, and I called Charlie and told him, if Howie gets in a fight and we somehow are down in the pits, we're going
to have 4.
Listen, we have me, Matt, Charlie, and Eddie. Those 4 people were at the fight at Kinston, Alabama. So we got 4 of the 8 here. So we got half the team here. So Howie ain't got to worry about nothing.
No, Howie pretty much has his own Secret Service detail.
Yeah, I'm gonna see. I'll text him that and let him know that, hey, look, we got professional fighters.
Right. Matt has his flip flop.
That's right
here. He's ready to go.
We got the Jesus Sandal 1000 ready to fight.
All right. And the Cup Series, Austin.
Cup race. Let's see, who hasn't won a race this week? I'm a non-playoff driver that hasn't won a race.
Harrison Burton.
Ooh, is that your pick, Charlie? That'd be cool.
Todd Gilliland, since he said Harrison Burton.
He has run well. Okay, so they're your guys' pick. I don't know who I'm going to pick here for. And I want to pick someone different, like someone I haven't seen. I'm going to say Keselowski.
Okay.
Time out.
They've been running good.
They have
Time out. On live air, I just got a text message that says, Howard, damn right you'll fight.
That's right. That's right. Howie knows what's up. He's seen our show before.
Oh, man.
That's right. I'm
glad I made friends with them big old rednecks.
Yeah. Okay.
They'd be at least 600 pounds, 700 pounds worth of people walking through down there.
That's right. Okay, so
hammered, drunk too. Like we ain't gonna feel nothing.
Bush like,
yo.
I think okay. So Keselowski gets it done for the Cup Series. Xfinity Series, I'm going to go with Josh Berry. Truck Series, Crafton, and I want to see the Formula One season go on longer. I'm going to pick Charles Leclerc. He's going to keep it interesting. Hopefully, Scuderia Ferrari keeps it interesting. Charlie, your picks for Xfinity and
you didn't pick truck. Oh yeah, you did.
Xfinity Truck and Formula One.
F1. I'll go with Russell.
Oh, okay.
Trucks in finger. He goes to the Final Four this weekend. And Xfinity. Man, that's a toughie. I'm gonna say Allgaier.
That's a good pick, Justin Allgaier. I'd like to see him win. I haven't seen him win a race.
I really want to say Gragson gets 5 in a row, but Talladega is just so unpredictable, man.
Here's the problem.
And he had a shot at Daytona earlier this year, but he got caught up last minute. So I just don't like his luck at restrictor plates here lately. So I'm gonna go with Allgaier.
I have 2 Noah Gragson cars on my mantle. I don't want a third. Because I have, let's see here, Denny Hamlin, 1, 2, 3, 4 Hamlin cars on there, 2 Kenseth cars, 2 Allmendinger cars. I want different cars up there.
Only thing I got on my wall is the dang buck my father-in-law shot back in the 07.
See that. Okay, so that's it. We're gonna go ahead and get into our final thoughts, unless you guys have.
I didn't pick my Cup race.
Your Cup Series race. I thought you did. I thought it was Harrison Burton.
No.
Okay, that was a joke.
That
okay.
was just like a decent pick that I thought Austin Mott would go with.
Oh.
Dale, who you got for the Cup race?
Oh boy.
That ain't a bad pick. Me and Dale's going with Ricky Stenhouse Jr.
If he doesn't wreck.
I was about to say, Rick House.
But he has a victory. He has a win there, so he knows how to get it done.
He's strong at plate races. He just always gets caught up in wrecks.
Yeah.
Usually he causes the wrecks.
Yeah. So
we'll have to wait and see.
Daytona, so.
We'll have to wait and see. Gentlemen, anything else before we head into our final thoughts here?
Nope.
I'm good.
I got an Xfinity rest of it.
White flag. White flag. 1 lap to go. 1 lap, Raider. White flag.
Final thoughts here on this week's episode of Ramblin' About Racing. Messed up there.
That's fine. Hey, Austin, tell Howie I'll bring my helmet and stuff just in case he gets to feeling under the weather.
Don't do that. We don't want.
I'll buy my license on the spot.
Ooh, man, I really want to know where we could buy.
I want to go fast.
I get it, Charlie. You're a little tipsy right now. I want to know where to buy a Howie Desvino hat.
I texted him when he ran New Hampshire. I texted him, "Hey, you got any new apparel out? We don't have any. So if I don't show up with a freaking Alpha Pine Racing t-shirt, Alpha Pine,
yeah, no kidding. Like he better have a trailer parked out front.
Like, I mean, if I gotta jump over the fence and walk down Front Stretch and go get it myself, I'll do it.
I'll tackle the person guarding the gate, and y'all go. Just bring me back a hat and a shirt.
You got it, buddy.
Howie said you can't fit in his seat. I think that's a bad
joke. Bet.
Oh gosh, Charlie, I don't think you can. Howie's probably watching us right now going, no, these guys don't know what they're talking about. All right, final thoughts here on this episode of Ramblin' About Racing. Again, if you're going to be in the Talladega,
how tall's Howie?
At the Talladega weekend, this weekend, let it go, Charlie. You're not racing in the Xfinity Series this weekend. You're not doing it. If you're going to be in the Talladega race this weekend, let us know on social media, and we will definitely have a beer together. Talk racing. It'll be fun. But Charlie, do you want to do fantasy standings, or you want me to do this week in NASCAR first?
Go ahead. I haven't got them brought up yet.
All right. This week in NASCAR, September 29th, 1985, Harry Gant dominates the field to win the Holly Farms 400 at North Wilkesboro Speedway as Darrell Waltrip takes the points lead. Bill Elliott finishes outside the top 10 for the 4th consecutive race. I guess Bill Elliott was very consistent in 1985, and that happened September 29th at North Wilkesboro, 1985. And Charlie, points following this weekend's race at the Texas Motor Speedway for fantasy.
All right, starting with 7th place is Matt, 4,665.
Consistency.
6th place is S. Blades with 5,116 points. 5th place is SMR Operations with 5,139. Sorry, Howie texted me. He said, I'm 5'9", 145 pounds. You ain't fitting.
Yeah, you ain't fitting, buddy.
I got the 5'9" part.
We'll have to take that thing you cut the turkey with Thanksgiving and shave a couple pounds.
I'll bring a porta power. We'll push the sides out just a little. I got the 5'9" part, but it's more like 220. Anyway, going into fourth place, SMR R&D, 5,180. I don't know if I can finish it. My feelings are hurt. They just don't make seats for fat kids no more.
Yeah, they do. Mike Coleman racing this weekend.
Yeah, Mike Harmon looked pretty big in that.
Man, that was an expensive fire suit. Anyway.
So Howie was watching us. And
third place, Matt Camper, 5,181. Second place, Super Sumo 32, 5,253. I'm still first. 5,492, and that's your up-to-date Rambling About Racing NASCAR fantasy standings.
Listen, Howie's listening. He's going to call the team director. He's like, hey.
This is Charlie Hercus signing out for tonight.
He's going to say, hey, can I get a pit pass for this guy? His name's Charlie Hercus. Then you go, we're going to shut Talladega. Charlie Hercus, front stretch, please. Charlie Hercus to the front stretch, please.
Yeah, I won't even be racing. We need Charlie Hercus to the NASCAR hauler, please.
Dang it!
But I didn't even race.
Because here's what's going to happen.
Oh my God, Dale, go home.
Charlie's going to get to pit road and be like, "Are you drunk?" And be like, "No, I haven't stopped drinking."
I'm like, God, I didn't even race, and I got to go to the hauler. I'm like, shit, this is worse than South Alabama.
I thought you said never to mention South Alabama on this podcast.
I didn't say the actual track. I just said South Alabama in general.
Oh, that's me. That's my bad. Anyway, guys, that was our show. Thank you for staying up with us and joining us on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube Live, or your regular podcast platform. Again, if you're in Talladega, let us know. That's very imperative that you let us know if you're going to be in Talladega. And if so, we're just going to make new. If not, we're going to just make new friends, and they're going to be lifelong fans of the show, I feel.
Yeah, all right. No doubt. We're going to have a ball, man.
It's going to be a good time.
We're going to have a blast.
It's going to be great. You don't want to miss Rambling About Racing there.
I'm going to tell y'all, hey, I got spots on Howie's pit crew team. Like, y'all need, like, come on, let's go.
Now, I have worked with a couple of teams doing the pit crew stuff, so.
Hopefully, I'm just a sign guy holding down the sun.
So, like, if we need a rear carrier.
And then the tire comes off.
Absolutely not. Not the changer. Not the changer, the carrier. The changer is the one that actually tightens and loosens the lug nuts.
I don't, whatever, dude.
I'll be a little dude goes in and goes on the front grill. All right, you good, go.
Tear off.
Austin just wants to pull the tear off and wipe the grill, which is more the front carrier's job. So, like,
how's that water bottom? Need some more H2O? You good? You good?
Okay. Well, gentlemen, anything else before we wrap it up here this week?
No, I'm Thursday morning.
I'm probably just going to go cry myself to sleep now.
All right, as you should, Charlie.
Yeah.
Oh, with that,
I'm never eating again.
I just straight up you, Charlie. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up here. This week's episode of Rambling About Racing. Thank you so much for tuning in. Whether you're on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, or Twitch Live, really do appreciate it. We really enjoy all the support or your regular podcast.
So fat.
Been a fun show, guys. Talladega is going to be more
just
fun.
Going to drink.
Go head over to ramblingaboutracing.com to link to all of our social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, for the latest and greatest in the world of auto racing and to see what's going on in our lives as well. Thanks to our partners here at the show. Stand Up to the Cancer and Fanatics for all they do, not only for Rambling About Racing, but for what they do for B.U.R.N.S Radio as well. For Charlie Hercus, Chuck 8384, Austin Reeves, Austin _Reeves 6. I'm Matt Beamer, Beamer 22. All follows on Twitter. Stay safe and have a good rest of the week.